everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XVI. This is episode 37. Last time, side quests, but good ones, and a romantic one with Jill. It was a very nice ending to the episode there, to have that one cap it off. I enjoyed that a lot. We have more side quests popping up. We've got more hunts popping up as well. So while we're in the hideaway, we will check that out. Let's have a chat to Gav after we gave our appraisal to one of the new scouts. Gav wants a word.
You alright?
You right?
Something troubling you?
No more than usual. It's just... Eda's baby will be coming soon, and I wanted to make something for it.
I'm sure she'd like that.
Back in the north, families would always make gifts when a bairn was on the way. Yeah, I'll let the little tykes know they were welcome in their new homes, like.
So, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is that Eda's due any day now, and I don't know if I'll be ready in time.
Offer to help Gav complete the gift. He's gonna be stepdad.
Is there anything I can do to help?
You know, there just might be.
All right then. What exactly are we making?
A good luck charm. But not just any good luck charm.
Not just any.
No. One made from the feather of a silver chocobo. There's naught luckier in all the realm, or so we used to say back home anyway.
So Ambrosia?
Thing is, they're hard to come by. Had Otto and Karen check with their suppliers, but nothing. I'd try and track one down myself, only...
Only the big day is fast approaching. And that's all you need, a feather.
That or the bird whose horse it's attached to, aye. I was gonna start by asking around with travelling traders plying the northern borders.
Well, there's no shortage of those passing through Martha's. I think I might make that my first port of call. I'll let you know if I find anything.
You're a good friend, Clive. I won't forget this.
Is Ambrosia, I guess, a white chocobo, not a silver one?
Can't say I've ever seen a silver chocobo myself, but I have seen one of their feathers. Look just like a normal one, only silver, obviously. Well, grey.
I love how he's like, silver, grey. I guess Ambrosia must be white chocobo, yeah? Otherwise, that'll be our first thought. We go, well, I'll just ask my dear pal, Ambrosia.
Good morrow to you, my friend.
Oh, right. A tale to tell. Another thing, right? That's kind of curious. Is Ambrosia just... Nothing happens with Ambrosia in the story. Which is a little bit of a shame. I guess, like, there's not really much you could do, I suppose, but like, you know, they make a big point of her in the beginning, and then she protects you and saves your life, and then, you know, you get the ability to do chocobo travel on a mount through a side quest, which is pretty cool, but then Ambrosia just is only ever in the field, and that's it. I guess, like, I view her as a character, I suppose, and not just a mount, because Torgal gets front and center, you know, because he's always with us. So it's a little bit of a shame that, like, technically Ambrosia is always with us in the field whenever we wish to summon her, but there's just never any more, like, sort of cutscene or story interactions with her, or there's never any, like, specific moments where she's used. I think it could be cool if, not to add more side quests onto the side quest pile, but if there was, you know, a little bit more to do with her in potentially, like, some side quests that could pop up. I don't know, because considering Torgal's usage, it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel too ridiculous, you know?
If you would like to see them.
It doesn't feel too ridiculous for it to say something like that, of having Ambrosia
If you have a question for me,
do more.
I should be happy to answer it.
We have almost completely clocked out this bestiary. I'm assuming level 8 is that max level. Ambrosia Drew my long cry, should be his personal steed, proud bird, quickly turn a beak. I guess it's white. It's not stating if it's silver or not. Or white. White heart, yeah. So I guess white Chocobo. Born a princess of the Northern Territories, Jill was made a ward of Rosaria after her father, the Silvermane's incessant raids were quelled by the duchy. She entrusted her icon to Clive after he was bested by King Barnabas, that he might have the strength to fight their fate to the last. It's an interesting update. A bit late in the game. Tolga continued to search for his missing master after the tragedy at Phoenix Gate, sniffing out anything that bore Clive's scent, carrying it home to their secret island hideaway. It was during one of his forays on the mainland that he encountered Sid, who took the lonely Torgal in, fashioning an anklet for the lovelorn pup, which he treasures to this day. It's very cute. We're getting the updates on characters on the side quests they did, because I haven't checked in with these yet. Oh, Ember was the one to add in here. Finally. Ember was the missing one. We've already gotten, because like I said, in the characters or the persons of interest segment, this usually just updates what we've witnessed in the cutscenes, because they're kind of just recollections in case you forget. But the rest give you more. That sweet lore. Well, the characters page has been completed. There's a red dot, and I feel like I'm being blind. Oh, over this left-hand side. Okay. We definitely know what all of those are about. Let's have a look at these. Beginning in Sid's hideaway, the Order has greatly expanded both its ranks and its operations since the move to Benumir. While Otto manages their activities, day-to-day operations are led by Doris and Cole. Potential new recruits must undergo rigorous training and pass an induction test before joining the Cursebreakers' ranks. Still one missing. I think this one, looking at the locations, I don't know. A Colosseum-like prison located immediately north of Ravenwit Walls in the Kingdom of Waloed. Bearers sent here became the unfortunate subjects of an ambitious military endeavor designed to train untrainable beasts of war. When the kingdom fell and the wardens lost their wills to the ether, those same bearers were left in their cells to starve, which most did. Garnick is an idyllic mountain village in the Kingdom of Waloed, or at least what remains of it. Here an old acquaintance of Harpocrates made his home, quietly amassing a vast collection of rare tomes before Ultima and Barnabas's machinations rendered the realm Akashic and stripped him of his very will. Again, I don't have my proper eyeballs in today. There we go. That is a story recap. We remember that. Nothing new there. Badback Conservatory is a dilapidated orphanage for bearers that sits upon a hill overlooking the verdant plains of Vidagres in Waloed. The children who lived here were not cared for, but rather experimented on, enduring harrowing tortures designed to turn them into fearless, mindless weapons, an education that few were to survive. Waloed, just brutal. Airship. Though all now lay shattered and silent on the surface below, the Invincible, in which Clive and his allies have built their new hideaway, being one such relic, so advanced was the Fallen's technology it was nigh indistinguishable from magic, leading a historian of the early modern era to remember them as Men of Magitech, or Men of Magical Technology. It is Mid's dream to bring this technology back to life, that humanity might take flight once more. Not anymore, it ain't. The Deluge of Blood is a great war that occurred in ancient times between few who bear the blessing and many who do not. It ended in decisive victory for the unblessed masses and the signing of the Continental Accord, which cemented the systematic subjugation of the bearer minority. It was not until 100 years later that the first icons were to emerge, their human hosts being named Dominants. After the savior myth of the Circle of Malleus, which held that the Lord's return would be heralded by the appearance of his heavenly servants, most wondrous and most dominant, such was the awesome power of these creatures that the authorities had no option but to exempt them from the system of slavery. announcing them to be something other than a lowly bearer and deserving of the highest honor, lest they should side with their fellow oppressed and bring a second deluge upon the masters' heads. Like, we'll make these ones special, right? The executors are a shadowy cabal who control the truth of the realm by collecting and concealing any knowledge they believe should remain hidden. They appear to view themselves as the guardians of humanity, protecting people from what would only cause them pain. From a distance, the shameful history of the enslavement of bearers is but one of the books the executors would see expunged from the public record. Love to know what other books you got in there. A tome that lays bare the buried truth of the avarice and vanity of mankind. Upon its publication, the powers that be did everything in their power to inherit once more, along with its author. It tells the history of the bearers, those once worshipped and adored as bearers of the heavenly blessing, earning them the moniker they hold to this day, and how they came to be despised, oppressed, and enslaved by the unblessed masses. The shadowy executors seize any copy that surfaces in order to protect humanity from the painful knowledge contained within its pages. Or so they claim.
You are always welcome, Clyde.
That's our update for now. Should we talk to him about his side quest?
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge. Despite scouring the shelves, I have found only one reliable...
Oh, that's because I have to go
for indulging an old man.
Right, that's because I have to get the wyvern tail near Rickmal's roost. Then we can engage with Dion and say, look! Alright, let's see how many hunts have popped up. Hopefully one that gives us dark steel, and then I can make that weapon. Was the Grim Reaper a new one? There is a saying among the Imperial soldiers of the Northreach garrison, steer clear of the drowned tower, lest the spectre's sickle reap your root. They speak in typically uncouth terms of the thrall that dwells within the Aether Flood, one whose frightful aspect of command over lesser minions would appear to mark him as a high-ranking member of his species. A Knight of the Splendent Heart. Most pilgrims to the holy capital of Oriflamme pass through the Penitent's Gate on the road from the Royal Meadows. Of late, however, a knight in shining armor has elected to station himself beside this entrance, accusing any and all passers-by of being Sid the Outlaw, the one who led Prince Dion down the path of destruction, and challenging them to a duel to the death. Okay, we've got a Dragoon fight, a Grim Reaper fight, we've got a Wailing Banshee fight, a Masterless Marauder, and Svarhog. So we still got a few out there.
Fancy a look at the list, do you? Here you go.
Yes, lines in the sand.
What a word. I know you'll do right by us, Clive.
All right, ready to leave. Back out into the field we go. So I think we will go over here. Let's get a wild wyvern tail. And then we can also make for Mirkleburg as well.
Seems this place has been flooded twice over. Purple flowers blooming next to a waterfall. Shouldn't be too hard to find.
Certainly protected by the Akashic Lindworm. What if we just, the flowers are right. Oh, hang on. Okay. Okay. Hello? Get staggered? Look at that. So that's what happens when you do Dancing Steel and switch over to Odin, so it charges the Zansetsuken. You gotta remember to actually switch over. Nice. Because I was just thinking about that. If I use an Odin ability when I don't have Odin equipped, it won't charge Zansetsuken properly. So you have to quickly switch back while you're using it to charge it. Which makes sense.
Here they are. Might as well pick enough for a bunch, I suppose.
There you go. While we're here, we may as well make for Mirkleburg as well. We'll return these flowers to Tomes later. We did have to fight a wyvern to get the wyvern tail. Alright, yeah, traveling. Actually, it's probably faster to go from the edge of infinity. It's like halfway between them, but, you know. Come up this way. Think about this logic.
Ready, go?
Ambrosia can travel to Waloed as well. So we take Ambrosia with us over to Waloed.
Run like the wind.
So she's still around. 'Cause that's another thing to think about. Like, would they restrict Ambrosia to only Storm? But no, because our teammates get Chocobos too. Got both Joshua and Jill with me now after doing their personal quests, and now they're stuck with me, which is nice. That'll come in handy when we face off against Svarog. Okay, then we just take a left down here, and we're at Mirkleburg, and I'm stuck.
Straight home now.
Yeah, straight home.
Might this be Mirkleburg?
Ah, yes, this door. Survivors.
These people aren't turned. And the village seems safe enough at least. What is going on here?
Ah, did you too heed the call?
Heed the call? No, I came here looking for someone. To be honest, I wasn't sure I'd find him here. Let alone all of you.
Is that so?
What are you doing here? Is this where you live?
It is my home. The others, they heeded the call.
You keep saying that. What do you mean?
They came here to perform the rite, just as King Barnabas instructed. This village is their altar, where they shall cast their shoals upon the gentle waters and give themselves to the Lord.
Give themselves.
Oh, Lord, cleanse us of our sins.
Let us be reborn in your loving arms.
Free us from the torment of this mortal realm.
They want to be saved. Forgive me. But did another foreigner, like me, come here? He was probably wearing a cowl.
You mean the traveler from Storm? Yes. He is staying at my house, toward the rear of the village.
Thank you. If you don't mind, I'll go and greet him.
They seek the same salvation Barnabas did. At least the third chair still lives. Let's go and find him.
Your friend with the cowl has been staying with me. Please, make yourself at home too, traveler.
Okay. I'm assuming that trophy is discovering all locations on the map because it was a map-related icon. And that would make sense because we've been pretty damn extensive in our region coverage. Just taking a look around everywhere else first. So this guy lives here on his own, but then there were people that were heeding the call. Chronicles of Mirkleburg, being a collection of tales as recounted to his most exalted majesty. Wow, I can read, guys. Exalted majesty, Lord Bjornhard of the Veldemark. As you are no doubt aware, Lord Bernhard, there was once a race of men who commanded the most forbidden of forbidden magics. But did you ever hear tell of the executors, those charged with driving out these heretics? The order had its origins in the Crystalline Dominion, by whose ruler's decree it was tasked with the protection of mankind, and set forth to extinguish the forbidden magic, wherever rumors of its use might arise. Having in due course succeeded in their mission, and driven the utterers of the unutterable from the land, these secretive souls withdrew from the stage of history, never to be heard from again. You know, the executors popping up there. But it was less books, and it was more forbidden magics.
Excuse me. Are you with the Undying?
I am. And so it would appear, are you? Lord Rosfield, if I am not mistaken.
That's right. And you must be the third chair.
I am.
Cyril was worried for your safety. He sent me to find you.
Then I must apologize. I did not mean to trouble the bearer of the burning quill. Much less you, my Lord Marquis.
He said that you had failed to report. Is there a reason for that?
I came here to study the followers of this new faith. But the more I learned of them, the more my own faith began to falter. You have seen them at their prayers, have you not? They devote themselves to the veneration of their Lord with a fervor I have never seen before. Praying night and day that they might be rid of their wicked wills and reborn in their Saviour's light. Not that they might be granted respite from their worldly woes, but so that they might continue to serve him. Serve him with all of their beings. I, too, swore to devote my life to the service of my Lord and Master, but this... 'tis different. It is more. And so I would see it through to the end. See these people safe, that they might achieve their dream. That they might do their duty to their Lord. Even if it should keep me from doing my duty to mine.
You do understand what their dream is, don't you?
I do, my lord. They would cast aside their wills and become Akashic. I know that it may be hard to believe, but to these people, that is the very essence of salvation. Forgive me, my lord, but I must remain here. If you are to return to Master Cyril, I would consider it a great... Did you hear that, my lord? Something is happening.
I'll go find out what. Stay here.
Troubles are brewing outside. Ether flood. They got their wish, guys. They can go Akashic now.
An ether flood. Oh no. There must be something I can do.
This shit really just appears out of nowhere, huh?
Echoes as well. Found her.
You guys said you wanted salvation.
Ready, brother?
Ready. It's over. Enough. You lose. What now?
Oh, shit. Big boy with the spirits within attack again. Undertaker guy. A fire version of the Iron Giant.
We meet again.
Okay. Titus!
I've killed your
Cool.
kind before.
Damn it. Oh my lord.
Waken, Let darkness fall!
How good is that it freezes the stagger meter? Oh, nice move, boy. What? God damn it. Damn, I keep messing up the timing to that one. Oh.
Nice try.
He's got really cool moves.
Ow!
toggle's frozen right now. He can't come to the phone.
Farewell.
There you go. Get out of here, boy. You're done for. Titus. What now? Oh. It's just one.
Damn it.
Dude. Clive, you have the lunge ability. Clive just forgot that he had Deadly Embrace and lunge for a sec there. God damn it.
You die. Come on, speak to me.
I had to save them, that they might have a chance to find true salvation.
This man fell.
Themselves to the service of their lord,
Now they're going Akashic.
just as I did.
This man got brainwashed.
Undying plucked me from the gutter and gave me a cause to believe in. A duty to serve was everything to me, and I would not deny them that fulfillment, even if they must become Akashic in order to achieve it. Forgive me, my Lord Marquis. I did not mean to trouble you with this. My findings. Could you deliver them to Master Cyril for me?
Of course. Your duty will be done.
Look, my lord. They are saved.
Yeah, great. Now I gotta kill him. Oh. Ooh, okay. Wait, this is strange. I'm not gonna kill random Akashic peasants. Wow, look, they look so happy. What a weird quest line. This one was really strange. Because I'm just like, this man just was like, you see these people? They're so crazy, I'm beginning to believe them. And then he starts believing them. And then he lets him go Akashic. Bonk.
They are saved. Founder.
Stupid.
I should get this report to Cyril.
So we did that whole quest to get this report. But goddamn, man. That's got to be the first side quest in a long time we've done.
Or selling.
Where I've gone, huh? Yeah, it's, huh? Oh, nice.
Anything else?
I kind of forget you can buy decent, rare accessories from the merchants out there. Gungnir damage by 30%. It's pretty significant.
Of course.
Yeah, definitely the first side quest in a long time that I'm like scratching my head over going, this one's great. I'm like, stupid, Undying, you died. Just for them to become Akashic and then walk off.
My Lord Marquis, welcome back. I am glad to see you hale and whole.
I met with your third chair, Cyril. He bade me deliver his findings to you.
The Mirkleburg report. The third chair's report into the teachings of an Ashen savior cult, its outer edges stained with the same man's lifeblood.
Thank you, my lord. He remained in Ash?
He died protecting the villagers from an echo. I buried him in Mirkleburg. I'm sorry that I couldn't save him.
If you could not save him, no one could.
The villagers, they were believers in this savior cult. They prayed to their god that they might be unburdened of their wills. Then an ether flood came, and their wish was granted. Your brother sacrificed himself that they might live, even knowing that that life was death by another name.
Then he perished defending liberty. A hero's end. For the right to choose how one dies is no less sacred than the right to choose how one lives.
Sid would agree. He wanted to build a world where people could die on their own terms.
A noble ambition. To die for one's cause is the most perfect expression of one's faith. It matters not how misguided others might judge one's decision to be, only that the decision is one's own. We live according to the teachings of our order. We believe in them, we protect them, and yes, we die for them. For better or worse, that is our creed.
But he didn't die for your creed. He died to save them, and you still believe that what he did was right.
I believe that he believed it was. We of the Undying are not slaves, but willing servants. And this was his will, the ultimate expression of it.
All right. I'd like to know this man's name, Cyril. To know the names of all the Undying who've fallen in the line of duty. They died serving my house. It's only right that I remember them. That is my duty.
Of course. I shall fetch the Book of Martyrs at once. My lord, it has been, and shall ever be, the greatest honor of my life to serve House Rosfield. Though our duties may differ, yours is no less important. I pray with all my heart for your success. And were they here, I have no doubt but that every one of my fallen brothers and sisters would feel the same.
Alright, there we go. Quest complete. He's going to give us the Book of Martyrs. I demand to know the list of your dead. We have the Clayhearth signboard, the emblem of the Undying's headquarters in Tabor. The village is home to the finest leatherworkers and lapidaries in Dalmatia, who are little aware that their affable new neighbors are members of a secret society sworn to serve the Phoenix. I thought what was going to get added to our table, Clive's Chambers, was the book, and I was like, we're stealing their Book of the Dead. They're not going to be able to write in it. But no, we got a signboard and another orichalcum, so we can probably make one of the lesser accessories now, because we were saving up 3 for the blade, but now we didn't need it because we got another orichalcum. I need a dark steel so I can make that sword. Is there a first and a second chair? You know? That's my question. If they got the third chair, what happens to the first 2? Alright, let's deliver the tale to Harpocrates. Not the best side quest of all time, but it was okay. I understand the message of what they were talking about with dying on their own terms and weaving that into the story, but me and Clive were both like, yeah, alright then, I guess. A note of thanks. My Lord Marquis, I write to thank you for the kind consideration you have shown for those whose names are written within the pages of the Book of Martyrs. I know that it would move them deeply to know that the first shield of the Phoenix laments their passing. Though each and every member of our order stands ready to sacrifice their lives in service of the Phoenix, I do not doubt that those who are taken before their time go with regret for the long years of duty left undone. that they should live on in the memory of a proud son of House Rosfield such as yourself shall surely go some way to soothing their sorrows. May the Phoenix's flame burn ever in your heart.
Oarsman, I found the flowers you were looking for.
You did?
I think I did.
Wild Wyvern Tail records suggest that the Wyvern Tail was first cultivated for the purpose of distilling a purple dye from its petals. However, when the tended blooms were discovered to lose their hue over time, the gardeners of early Valisthea made the fateful decision to investigate the practical properties of their roots instead.
You did indeed. My dear boy, thank you.
You wanted to make Dion a gift of one, did you not? Shall I invite him to join us?
Oh, I don't...
It's no trouble. I'll go and fetch him.
Dion, your old teacher wants to speak with you.
Your Highness, would you do me the honor of accompanying me?
Now. It is time, then.
No, only to the shelves. Our lawsman has something he'd like to give you.
Master Harpocrates. No. I dare not show my face before him. Not after everything I have done. I have taken countless innocent lives. And ruined countless more. All because I was weak. I have sworn to atone for my crimes or die in the attempt. But were I to meet with him again, and see in his eyes what I have become, I fear that my resolve might falter.
Then that is all the more reason to do it. Test your resolve. Prove to yourself, and to him, how strong it truly is.
You are right. I must, at the very least, offer him my gratitude. Very well, then. Take me to him.
Follow me.
Time to not brood outside for a while. Proper cutscene as well. Nice.
Even now, I hesitate to approach him. What must he think of me?
You'd be surprised.
Master Harpocrates, pray, accept my apologies for leaving your tutelage before my studies were complete. Your lessons opened my mind to a world quite unlike the one I had imagined from within the gilded confines of the palace. And I shall be forever grateful for the efforts you made to enlighten me.
Lift up your head, Your Highness. The deeds of youth require no apology. That you took the time to visit me says much about the man you have become. Now, there is something I would like to show you.
Is that a wyvern tail? The color is unfamiliar to me.
Because it is unique to those found in the wild. Something in the harsh environments in which they grow lends them this striking hue. Their roots are indistinguishable from those of their hothouse cousins, but once they bloom, the difference is immediately apparent. In this flower, I see you, Your Highness. Its roots were the roots of a wyvern tail, with all that implies. But they do not define it, just as yours do not define you. I want you to have it, that it might remind you of this truth.
Master Harpocrates, I would ask of you a service. Keep your gift until I have fulfilled my duty to the realm, for only then shall I be deserving of it.
As you wish, Your Highness. I shall await your return.
Our roots do not define us. No wonder my stepmother didn't like him. For reuniting me with memories I had thought long lost. I shall not forget this.
Great touching scene. That was really nice. You could feel the emotions between them both.
Thank you, Clive. Were it not for you, I fear I might never have found the right moment to speak with him. Not to mention the wyvern tales. I shall plant their seeds, that I might not disappoint His Highness upon his return.
I hope the soil in the hideaway is to their liking.
Why, these flowers bloomed in the bleak, black wastes of Waloed. I'm sure Nigel's yard will suit them to a T. When it comes to expressing one's gratitude, I find that words are seldom sufficient. Here.
Getting gifts.
A stolas quill. Or more precisely, my stolas quill. 'Tis said that an owl's feathers are steeped in the wishes it hears over its long lifetime. All those words just waiting to pour out onto the page. So consider this my wish for you. That one day you may put down your sword and pick up that pen.
Well, when that day comes, I'll certainly have a lot to write about. Thank you, Harpocrates. It shall have pride of place in my chamber.
Alright, Lawsman Clive Rosfield in the future. Feels like Joshua would be the Lawsman in my book, you know? That's what it feels like for me. Bahamut's Mercy we got from Dion, a gift from the very first Emperor of Sanbreque to his infant son. This ring has graced the hand of every dominant of Bahamut since. The ether it absorbed from the icon over the years, aiding the next Imperial Scion in drawing out the full potential of their bloodline. But now, the Empire lies in ruin, and that bloodline is broken, so let it be with Bahamut as it was always intended. Reduces Gigaflare cooldown by 6 seconds. Not bad. And the Stolas Quill, Lordsman Harpocrates' best-loved writing implement, whose nib has scribed many a learned tome. 'Tis said that an owl feathers are steeped in the wishes it hears over a long lifetime. So all those words are just waiting to pour out onto the page. Nice.
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge lost.
Yeah, I was like, who might have something to follow up with about Dion?
I well recall
The time I spent at the Imperial Palace instructing the young prince on the history of our realm. He was quite unlike the other noble-born children I had taught, not only for the keenness with which he listened, but for the earnestness of his conviction.
he truly believed
That it was the Empire's duty to serve the people and was determined to study the past that he might not repeat its mistakes. Which is the reason why what befell Twinside weighs so heavily on his soul. He must live with the consequences, and I fear it will take more than merely time to heal such wounds.
it will take forgiveness.
Not from you or me, nor his countrymen, nor even from his late father, no?
From himself.
And then might his flower bloom again.
I have a few new notes that might interest you. What subject shall we consider today?
Okay, we can update with those, the ones that we just went through. And then Lay of the Land. That'll give us the quest that we just did. Mirkleburg is right there. A settlement situated in the south of Waloed. After being abandoned by its former residents, it became something of a gathering place for followers of the Savior cult recently arisen on Ash, leading the Undying to dispatch an investigative mission there. If we've been to every place on the map, why is it that there's... well, there are actually places that aren't actually places in here. Like, lore things that aren't actually locations. Savior cult, a religion that has arisen in recent years in Ash and which has its basis in the Circle of Malleus, an ancient faith whose followers worshipped Ultima as a god. It was popularized by King Barnabas Tharm of Waloed, who spread its prayers and rituals among his people. Believers see becoming Akashic as a means of achieving purity and of being freed from the torments of the mortal realm. And in the mysteries of the realm, we have Wyvern Tail, the elegant white flower that is a symbol of the Holy Empire of Sambrek. From its roots is distilled the dye with which the bearer brand is inscribed. The dye is highly poisonous when it enters the bloodstream, and so it is not uncommon for bearers to lose their lives either upon receiving their brand or during an inexpert attempt to remove it. While cultivated wyvern tails bear white blossoms, those that grow in the wild adopt a purple hue. I really like that cutscene and that between Dion and Tomes with that sort of message. It's really a great touch.
Did you learn everything you needed?
We'll talk to Dion about Harpocrates now. I assume he would have some dialogue there. And then we can have a look at our next round of side quests out in the wild.
Ifrit?
Clive.
Your resolve didn't falter.
No. Though I continue to be bewildered by fate. That I should meet with my old tutor here, at the very end of the world. I thank you, with all my heart, for giving me this chance.
And I thank you for taking it.
I should like to look upon that flower once more, when I am worthy. I stand ready to leave for Origin at your word. May Griga go with us.
And see us safely home.
The hour fast approaches.
Nice, there's an actual conversation. My days under the tutelage of Master Harpocrates were among the brightest and most rewarding of my life. His knowledge is boundless, and he gladly shared it with me that I might learn to be of use to my father in matters of state, and so that when the time came I might be the ruler that my people not only expected but deserved.
Alas.
I have disappointed him utterly.
And yet...
He greeted me with such warmth, as if I were still the same boy who hung upon his every word. No, that wasn't it. I can't get it. I can't get that beautiful voice acting of like a... In a way, perhaps I am, and perhaps I might make him proud of me yet.
I await your word.
All right, Dion, so we've got a voice line for you to do. We just want you to go into the mic and go... You don't want me to speak the text that's written here? No, just cough or something. Just make like a ha into the mic. That'll be your line, and we'll fix it later. Okay. Wonderful. Let's get out of here. Let's skedaddle. We've got... We're almost done. Or are we? We've got 2 quests here and a 3rd to pick up. So let's check in with the ones that we've actually started. So let's go to Boklad and make the terrible long journey all the way to the bottom there.
You won't find a finer array this side of the strait.
Breath of Darkness for Heaven's Cloud. A cooldown of 2.5 seconds. Nah.
May Gilbert smile upon you.
Shit's way too expensive, man. Oh yeah, everyone's reacting to it. Holy shit.
There are many variations of the Semekian legend, but almost all agree that man was punished for presuming to set foot in the sanctum of the gods. Some describe it as holy, others heavenly, which is to say, of the heavens. Could it be that the baleful mass that now glowers over us is this very sanctum? Have the gods returned to pass judgment upon us once more?
This is cool. It's not only the hideaway that's reacting to this. Oh wow, we get a decent view of it here as well.
It's not real. It can't be. I'm seeing things.
So this used to be a Mother Crystal. And a fucking huge one at that. Zemeckis. I actually really appreciate the fact that being in a location like this that's closer to the crystal actually has people reacting to it, and even more dialogue from characters about it too. That's really cool.
Papa, what keeps it in the air? Why doesn't it fall?
Don't you go tempting fate, girl.
Because this is the end times for so many people. They see this and they're like, what the fuck's going on?
What is it?
Don't ask me.
Oh, please. I'm scared.
Nothing good's gonna come of this, I'm telling you.
Just looking at it's enough to send a shiver down your spine.
Even the kids. I can't believe I ever criticized the roaming dialogue super early on in this game and was like, it's so repetitive. Because it was in that instance. It genuinely, I was in one particular part of the game where you just kept going back and forth. And so, make sure you fucking cool down that fish, son. And I was like, oh my god. But then once you start progressing at a steady pace through all of these different locations with all of the story movements, you rarely hear repeated dialogue at all. And you get so much more fresh and unique dialogue out of so many characters. It was actually starting to become just so much. It was just like mind-blowing, because I was like, there's just so much dialogue that you can completely miss, and there's so much that I personally would have missed already by not engaging with
It can't be Rutherford, can it?
going to every single corner of the world to get everybody's dialogue as their story changes. It's quite impressive.
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your...
Please, Field Marshal. Oblige him.
This won't take long.
Oblige him.
You're right. It won't. Men, finish him.
Oh, I think it still fills up the Zansetsuken meter even when you don't have Odin equipped, because I accidentally forgot to do it. I forgot to switch to Odin. I was like, oh wait, the meter's not building. But confirmation, which is actually really nice there, if you have an Odin ability on a different icon, still feels the Zansetsuken meter. Very good. You can get a level 5 and slay them all. A little longer than I've liked. Okay. Cleansed. That's a great combo. Instant level 5.
Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together, even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right. You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dhalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. And when it comes to honeyed words, well, we will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen. You, perhaps.
I'm flattered. But I'm no diplomat either. And I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator. And I may know just the person.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Well, beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well. Send your man to me right away.
I shall.
My Lord Marquis. Your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
Very good, my lord.
Huh. An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. This is a job for someone with experience. Someone like Quinton. I hope I can convince him at least.
Alrighty. It's very interesting seeing characters from the very, very beginning of the game, like Havel, when he was just a random guy on a desk. Underneath Kupka's, powerful fist. So that one was very interesting when they like come back in like a completely different way, and they're associated with characters like my uncle and stuff. It just goes in such an interesting way. We'll speak with Quinton now, and we'll bring him into this. We'll be like, how's your new place going, mate? After your revenge story has finished, I'll begin my amazing magic trick of phasing through these. If I can phase through these, why can't I phase through anything at this point?
I made sure our fallen comrades were laid to rest. And they can rest easy, knowing that their sacrifice wasn't in vain. The justice was done. As for us survivors, well, we've just got to keep at it. Keep the family together. For their sakes.
Quinton, I have a proposal for you.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of Gotand gold. Go on then. Propose.
Propose.
You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that, who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from safe these days.
Hopefully not for long. My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape.
Alright, return to the hideaway. uncle? All of these random people are coming together.
Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Ha! Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Porter's Alder as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his, but yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion, but luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
He's so good in every scene that he's in. Good old Uncle Byron. Oh, here we are. Rosefield Manor.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. 2 such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends? I can't stand the man.
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal.
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the bloody outlaw.
Once more onto the breach.
Amazing. I love the quick cuts between them.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes, and I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Triunity. Rutherford, Mike Will.
A new accord does need to be signed to overwrite the continental one.
Well, my boy, the stage is set.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall. And there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
Nice, alright, that one's done now. We have the signed accord, Three's Company. I wonder if you don't do these side quests, does the story just automatically assume that this stuff has taken place just like off screen without your character input? Because this is there's a lot of stuff here that like establishes really important character relationships and story stuff. So I'm assuming that the game's not going to be like, uh-oh, you didn't do this side quest, you got the bad ending, everybody's dead, and there's no government. So I assume that things would still play out the same, but we get to actually experience and witness the events happening. Makes the most sense. Signed by representatives from Rosaria, Dalmatia, and Senbrek, this mutual accord sets the stage for a new age in Storm, if not officially, then at least in spirit. And Heaven's Cloud cooldown by 2.5 seconds. None. Alright, that is done. We have a missive.
Sorry, can't take you where you need to get to, but the Argo and me will be waiting when you get back.
What do you think that thing is?
And how the hell is Sid gonna deal with that?
Sid! You have my word. I will not leave this pit until I can besten Avis with my own 2 hands. And a sword. I can use a sword, right? Gav uses a sword.
We barely use this lift and get transported down to the lower region of this hideaway that you kind of forget that part of it exists. Because when you fast travel here, you're automatically at this point. Kind of interesting. What are we doing now? Missive. Right. And then we go to speak with the merchants in Martha's Rest, and then we've got the side quest with Lubor. Assumedly wondering what an update with him deciding to leave town. Before we depart, call me Clive, you bastard. Ifrit, you have my sincerest gratitude for reuniting me with Master Harpocrates, that I might embark upon this most important of journeys, my heart free of regret, though in these past few moons I've come to realize that the longer I spend in the company of you and your brother, the deeper I find myself in your debt. We must swiftly see to the menace that is Ultima, if not to save the world, to save me from an eternity of recompense. Dion. Shall I just call you Bahamut then? Thank you, Clive, for ever indulging the whims of this doddering old soul. I am ashamed that for too many years I allowed stubbornness and fear to keep me from something so simple as letting a friend know how proud I was of him. Your intervention has lifted a heavy pall from my heart. Perhaps upon your triumphant return from the skies, you might be inclined to set to page that quill I gifted you. There are many of us who would hear a first-hand account of your time with the Holy Prince, myself included. Okay. To Martha's Rest. So we're speaking with merchants about a silver chocobo
Let's
feather.
hope one of the merchants here has what Gav needs. Excuse me. I'm looking for something.
Oh, well, then I'm your man.
A silver chocobo feather.
Oh, or maybe not. Though you're not the first to mention the bird around here. There was a man stopped by the rest not long ago claiming he was attacked by a silver chocobo. Near some gutted hovel not far from Eastpool. Most took him for a braggart and a liar, but who knows? Perhaps there was some truth to his tale.
We'll see. Thank you.
I still have to speak with other merchants. That's interesting. It won't let me just go.
Anything catch your eye?
And this dude doesn't count.
Fare thee well.
Just because the heavens have gone to rack and ruin, it don't mean we have to.
How do, traveller? You've the look of a man who could do with a new whetstone. Or perhaps a bawdy etching of the Vicerine.
Maybe another time. I'm looking for a silver chocobo feather.
If that's the case, rumours are all you're likely to find. No one has seen a silver chocobo for years. Word is they were all hunted for their feathers. Some northern nonsense about bringing good luck. Didn't bring them much, nor their bows. If any are still out there, I reckon they'll be doing their damnedest not to be discovered.
You're probably right. Thank you anyway.
Thank you anyway. Alright.
The world seems to be changing so fast lately.
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
You a merchant? You've got bags. Yep. You've got bags.
Can I help you with summit?
You wouldn't happen to sell silver chocobo feathers, would you?
I deal in fruit, not fancies. But if it's fancies you're after, I suggest you try Rhiannon's ride.
Was a silver chocobo seen there?
Oh, yes. If you believe the ravings of a madman.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah. That's funny.
Silver chocobo sighted in the hills near Rhiannon's ride. It sounds almost too good to be true. But since I'm already here...
Exactly. We're already in the area. We may as well check it out.
Tracks. They're not left by bandits for a change.
Of our beloved silver chocobo friend.
More tracks. And these look fresh. The chocobo was here. And recently. Perhaps it still is. I don't hear anything.
Huh. There's definitely a nest here, but we got a feather. That's cool.
Well, I'll be damned.
Oh. Two.
It's all right. I'm not going to hurt you. Just borrowing a feather for my friend. Thank you.
cute.
Let's get this back to Gav before they change their minds.
Silver Chocobo feather. They have the same model as Ambrosia, I think. Even though it's known as White Heart. Something that's kind of interesting there is you see what I was mentioning earlier when I was talking about Ambrosia. So this is kind of funny that this comes back around. Is let's just say, for example, a great way to bring Ambrosia into like the story in a cutscene. We're in their home and we're trespassing. Imagine if, like, you know, the Chocobos start getting a little bit aggressive and they're pushing on to us and we don't want to hurt them. And Ambrosia comes in because the location that we're in, Three Reeds, is where we found Ambrosia, being Whiteheart. Like, this is her area that she was hanging out with anyway. So it, like, makes sense that, like, she could show up and, like, be a peacekeeper, a mediator. Like, she'll rock up real quick to, like, save the day and, like, communicate with them. My boy over here is cool. He's my boy. You know? And then, like, diffuse the situation, and, like, it would give Ambrosia, like, another moment. Which I think would be really nice. It kind of feels like that after that side quest where you get Ambrosia as a mount, they just forgot that she exists. Which is a little bit unfortunate. Because that would have been a perfect moment to include her. Just have, like, this moment of tension where, you know, they think that you're attacking their home, or you're, you know, they feel unsafe. And then Ambrosia helps out. But we got the silver chocobo feather, just the one too.
It was no trouble at all.
Still, I appreciate it.
Ember scouting.
Clive, you're back. How'd you get on? Any luck?
Any luck, you say?
To the people of the north, silver chocobos are symbols of good fortune, the mere sight of one potentially meaning the difference between a failed harvest and a bumper crop, according to Gav at least.
Crystals crack. Is this what I think it is? Where in the hell did you find it?
It's a long story.
Exposition, fade to black.
Right there on the road to Eastpool. Who'd have thought it?
Everything up there's been abandoned for years. The empty cabin made for the perfect shelter. Though I fear my presence may have forced the poor creatures to look elsewhere.
Don't blame yourself, Clive. The Blight's right on Eastpool's doorstep. They'd have had to move on before long, even if you hadn't have turned up. They'll find a new home. Trust me. After all, that's what us endangered animals do. Anyway, what matters is, you managed to nick us one of their quills before they could run off. And now all that's left is to fix it to the carving.
I didn't know you could carve.
Reckon there's a lot you don't know about me. Like the fact I'm as good with a whittling knife as I am with a sword. And that bone Ember gave me's a dream to work with. What did you say it was from again? An Avis?
But it weren't your Avis, Sid. I slew one of my own at last.
So all those long nights in the pit finally bore fruit. I'm proud of you, Ember.
Don't speak too soon. I ain't done my trial yet.
There we go.
Nice.
What do you think?
I think if you ever hang up your scouting cap, you'll be able to make an honest living.
Oh, will I? I should go and see if Ed is awake.
Give it my best.
You can give it to yourself. Come on.
What happens if you say no to Ember's, like, appraisal with scouting? Maybe it's the illusion of choice and he'd still get a second chance anyway, and then he helps out with this? Or maybe you say no and then he ends up proving you wrong and slaying an Avis. Who knows?
I don't want Gav to give up being a scout, honest.
What can I do for my favorite
If do you know why?
I choose to call it the Tri-Unity, Clive. Well, I mean, there's three of you, and it's yeah. You may be too young to remember, but this isn't the first time an alliance has been struck twixt the nations of Storm.
'Twas not 20 summers past.
That your father petitioned both the Empire and the Republic to join hands with the Duchy that we might work to mutual advantage in defiance of the Blight. And they, for their part, embraced the notion, or so we believed. Little did we know that the peace Elwyn had worked so hard to secure would be ground beneath the heel of one we least suspected.
Your mother, the Duchess.
In one fell swoop, Annabella robbed us of everything: a nation, a leader, a brother, a father.
But above all,
she robbed us of what could have been a realm undivided, Elwyn's grand design.
And so you see,
why I chose to call our new alliance the Tri-Unity, for with it we aim to preserve not only peace but a lasting legacy of cooperation. That just proves that Annabella is the main villain of this entire game. Like, she's the worst. There's zero redeeming qualities about her at all. From the very first time that you see her to the very last time you see her, you celebrate the fact that she's gone. Like, they made a vile character. They absolutely did. They succeeded. And Elwyn's grand designs for peace and working together against the Blight, goddamn, wouldn't that have been beautiful? There's a whole different alternate universe of, like, Clive never going to, you know, forced into his Final Fantasy Black Ops squad, and Joshua doesn't have to go on his weird little Ultima journey, but then they'd be kind of a bit more underprepared for Ultima, but then they'd probably figure it out. It's just so many questions arise from such a total shift, you know? But damn, wouldn't it have been good if Annabella just didn't exist?
I was just about to go in, but then I thought it might be better if you went first. What with you being the head of the family and all.
He's nervous. Man wants to be a dad so bad. Alright, Yoche, clear the room. We've got baby stuff.
Ah, me lords.
How are you feeling?
Well, thank you. Is something wrong?
Wrong? No, nothing like that. What it is,
Go on, please. It's beautiful. Did you make it?
We did. It's from all of us here at the Hideaway. Your new family, like. It's a good luck charm. We may come up north when a band's on the way. I mean a baby. To let him know that they're part of the family too. Oh, I hope you like it.
I don't know what to say. I thank you, my lords, for everything.
If there's anything you need, just let us know.
I will.
Clive, fancy a swift off? I'm thirsty.
I could be convinced.
Gav's got a crush.
Don't you think you've had enough?
Oh, we're celebrating. I'm gonna be a father.
I think Edda might have something to say about that.
You know what I mean. Bit of light in these dark times. Wasn't long after me 10th name day. My mum told us she was with child again. I was over the fucking moon. I was looking forward to having a little one to lord it over, what with me being the runt of the litter. Thought I'd finally have a chance to prove to the world that I could be a big brother. Imperials came the day she went into labour. Had myself a baby sister. And then I didn't. My whole family gone in a blink, while I hid in the cellar like the spineless little arsehole I was. Great brother I turned out to be. I'll never be a leader. And I'll never be a hero. I'm just a daft little dog who comes running when his master calls. I'll never be like you, or Sid, or Jill, or even Torgal.
Have you finished?
Maybe.
Do you know why you're our best scout? Because you don't need anyone to hold your hand. Without your resourcefulness, your courage, your determination, I don't know where we'd be. Maybe hanging off a cliff like,
That was only the once.
Exactly. You learned from it. And here you are after Founder knows how many missions, stronger for everyone. And let's not forget Rosalith. Who was it who freed me from the dungeon? Who was it who ran to Jill's rescue?
That would be me.
Because you're our brother, Gav. My brother.
Your brother.
Which means that when the time comes,
I get your room. And your sword.
Neat touch. I'm really enjoying the proper cutscene interactions that we're getting between characters. I really enjoy it. Great dialogue too. Let's just get wasted, Gav.
I may have had one too many.
You may have had 10 too many.
I said I was thirsty. Better get back to work anyway. After I walk this off. Clive?
What is it?
Thanks for, you know.
I know.
Quest complete. Nice touch. I like that one. Winter mead, a potable made from honey collected in the Northern Territory's short summers and fermented slowly over the next 6 moons, said to warm the belly on the North's cold winter nights. I believe we find ourselves at one more quest and potentially one more item for our bedroom.
One of these days. One of these days, I swear it's gonna be me who drinks you under the table.
If by under the table you mean retching on my boots half the night, I reckon one of those days was yesterday.
Ha ha, you think you're so funny. But just wait till we crack open the bottle I left in your chambers. That stuff's strong enough to burn the horns off a behemoth.
Sounds like I'll be needing some new boots.
Burn the horns of a behemoth, huh? Alright, there's Gav. Let's check for missives. As usual, we're like, has there been any missives?
How's it going?
Work had only just started on the old hideaway when Sid took me in. Plan was to make it a safe haven for the bearers we were going to free. I remember when the first ones moved in, they'd hardly dare look you in the eye, let alone speak to you.
But over time,
they started to thaw. They stopped being slaves and became a family, and the hideaway their home. It'll be the same with Etta and her little one, I'm sure. They can make a new home here with a new family. And with the best big brother in the whole wide world to look after them. Here, what are you looking so smug for? I'm talking about me.
Go and give that fucker one for me.
He just wants to be a stepdad, but also wanted to be a good big brother. The Tri-Unity, bringing together 3 men from differing backgrounds, was not to be without some difficulty. However, come together we did, for a better Valesthea. The Tri-Unity was but a first step. A longer, more bitter journey awaits us all, one that will almost certainly end in hardship. Yet what matters most is not the destination, but what we can learn from one another while on the road there. You have paved that road for us with your courage, Clive. Now we must have the courage to walk it. Your loving uncle, Byron. Lovely. Alright. Off to the Dalamil Inn. Let's see what's going on with Lubor. Lubor's going to be our final side quest. If I'd have known what the side quest with Jill was going to be, I probably would have thematically saved that to be the very, very last thing, because it was so beautiful and like a perfect sort of night before romantic date. So let's just pretend that that's the last thing that we did before we venture into Origin, eh? Oh, he's still here.
Here to help me pack.
It's been so long and he's still here.
Traveling light. I'm almost finished already, in fact.
You're really going to go through with this then?
I am. But before I go, there is one small issue I'd like your assistance with. Well, 2, in fact.
If it's within my power to help you, I will.
Kids.
It's the children. I refuse to let them share in my disgrace. And if I leave them here, they surely will. Our friendship would see them ostracized forever. But I can't take them with me either. I can think of only one place where they are certain to be safe and provided for and loved. The hideaway.
All right.
Of course. The children would be more than welcome.
Thank you, Clive. I will not forget this.
Lubor, are you still here?
What is it, Ferda? You look pale.
There's been a flood in the Velcroy, a damn big one. The League of Outlaws encampment was completely submerged in ether.
What?
Every last one of the bastards has turned, and they're headed this way.
Bandits are one thing, but Akashic bandits are quite another. The town guard won't stand a chance against them. We need to evacuate. There's no time to lose. Ferda, gather the men. The Akashic may strike at any moment. We must make ready to cover the townspeople's escape. Well, what are you waiting for?
Yes, my lord.
Clive, change of plan. The children stay with me for now. I need you to find Conrad and Natalie. Tell them to prepare for a full and immediate evacuation.
Understood.
I'll do what I can to convince everyone else. Wish me luck.
I think what's interesting about this game sometimes in this world, and it definitely is a video game thing, where it's kind of funny that, you know, it takes weeks to travel so many places across like the world map and across continents. Like you're like, I've got to go here. It's going to take days, weeks, you know, to get to these locations. So much time has passed. And we've been on like so many side quests back and forth between locations. And then we come back to the Dalamil Inn, and Lubor, who last we spoke to him, he was like, I gotta go. They're gonna chase me out of here. I gotta leave. And so within the game timeline, like it's definitely been weeks at this point. He's just still there. It's kind of funny. I expected that he would have been gone and we would have maybe met him somewhere else. But that is really interesting that it's a video game thing. Like we have to meet him here so the video game things can happen, but it is kind of funny.
Lubor told me they're like people.
even meaner and scarier.
Ah, it's you.
What do you want, Lord Underhill?
To pass on an important message. There's been an ether flood out in the Velcroy. The camp where the so-called League of Outlaws were gathering has been swallowed. They're no longer just bandits. They're Akashic now, and they could be here at any moment. You need to begin preparing for a full-scale evacuation right away.
Oh, do we? And who was it who gave you this disturbing news, might I ask?
Lubor, perhaps? The man spreading the same poison out in the square as we speak. You may believe his lies, my lord, but we know better.
But why would he lie about something like this?
Some twisted attempt at revenge, perhaps. If he had not been unmasked, he may well have been elected our leader. A great honor for one of his kind. One he might well feel aggrieved at having been denied.
Lord Underhill, forgive me, but it has become all too evident where your sympathies lie. Lubor cannot be trusted, and neither, therefore, can you.
You may not trust me, but for the sake of your people, ask yourselves if there is any chance that this is true.
There isn't. You can be certain of that. Now be off with you.
Wonderful.
You're making a mistake.
It's no use. Words will not move them.
Then we must find another way to ensure Dalamil's survival.
You're right. Let's speak to Lord Hurrah.
How cool is it that depending on whether you actually have Jill or Joshua in your party, like they'll actually talk with you in dialogue so they feel included, because otherwise Jill would be at the hideaway if we didn't do her quest when it came up. It's kind of cool. It's a missable dialogue there. Well, this is annoying. Can we,
We'd better shut up shop for today.
give people one less thing to throw at him?
What's Lubor raving about now?
If only we could show them from a distance and be like, hey, by the way, doesn't have to be this way.
Lord Hurrah.
Sid, what's wrong?
I went to warn Conrad and Natalie about the Akashic, but they wouldn't listen. They've convinced themselves that nothing Lubor says can be trusted.
The bloody fools.
Which means the town guard can't be counted on for support. But I can. If there's anything I can do to help you defend Dalamil, you only have to ask.
I appreciate it.
Sid! Further! I've been looking for you everywhere.
Victor? I thought you'd left.
I couldn't abandon a friend in need. And Lubor is in need at this very moment. Come quickly.
You have to believe me! The Akashic are coming! They don't eat, they don't sleep, they don't tire, and they don't care who they kill. They're unlike anything that's come before. There will be no parley, no mercy granted! We may have saved the town once, but this is different. I do not ask that you forgive me, but please believe me. If you do not run, you will die. You will all fucking die!
You'd like that, wouldn't you, bearer?
Literally telling you to run away so you don't die, you
With us out
fool.
of the way, your party will be free to claim Dalamil for yourselves.
You should run!
Run, bearer!
Yeah, run!
Run!
Far, far away!
Run!
Just go!
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Go.
Come on, then.
Go on. Go. Just go. Just go.
Lubor.
Wait. Someone's coming.
Go. Come on.
Stop! You're hurting him! What did Lubor ever do to you? He solves all your stupid problems, and he keeps all of you safe. You know there's nothing he wouldn't do for this town. Who was it who made that cleaver you use every day, Conrad?
And what about your counting table, Natalie? Who fixed that?
Whose men make sure the streets are clean so all your boots don't get dirty?
Who spends all day every day making sure things run smoothly round here? And none of you ever say thank you. Ever.
But did Lubor ever complain? Well, does he ever stop smiling?
He keeps this whole place going. And you act like it doesn't even exist!
Lubor, we've heard enough.
Wait!
We will not run. The town guard will not abandon the very place it is sworn to protect.
And I will not give up for lost the stores that we labored so hard to fill.
So tell us, how do you propose we deal with these Akashic of yours?
We won't run, but we will fight.
All right, then. Fine. Gather round if you don't want to die.
Great speech by the kids there. You won't throw rocks at kids.
Allow me to explain the situation. The ether flood occurred near the village of Charitena, deep in the Velcroy. The place had been abandoned for years, until the League of Outlaws decided to make it their base of operations. Now they're all turned, and if the scouts' reports are correct, heading in this direction.
They are mindless monsters, driven only by hate and rage. And they are utterly unpredictable. With the bandits, we at least knew how and where they were likely to attack. When these creatures come, Dalamil will have the bitterest fight it has ever faced on its hands. The town guard will muster at the north gate. The rest of us will take the south. Both forces will provide men to serve as scouts and messengers, ready to spread word of the size and nature of the Akashic force as soon as it is spotted. And as soon as it has been, we will converge on its position and see that it is driven back from Dalamil at all costs. Conrad, can I count on the support of the town guard?
Always.
I leave the selection and coordination of the messengers in your hands, Victor. And the command of our men in yours, Ferda. If you would both be so kind.
Consider it done.
As you wish.
Natalie, I would ask that you and your people have the townsfolk barricade themselves inside the bathhouse. And tell the merchant not to waste time securing anything beside the essentials. Preserving life is our one and only concern. As long as we survive, it doesn't matter what trinkets we might lose. Our riches can be regained. And if anyone doubts that, let it be known that the Briar's Kiss stands ready to cover any losses.
Very well. I shall tell them.
Where do I fit into this plan?
Where else but the most perilous place of all? I would like you to travel to the home of our erstwhile League of Outlaws, Charitena itself. The main host is most likely still there, and Dalamil will not be safe until it is eradicated, root and branch.
A little gardening. How pleasant.
I doubt it. I have a feeling these weeds will be particularly stubborn.
Luckily, so am I.
So you are. All right then, we all know what we have to do. Now it's simply a matter of doing it. For Dalamil.
The part 2 quests to a couple of the ones that we got introduced to, like the one in Northreach with, you know, the Duke coming in, and then this one with Lubor getting kicked out. The follow-up storylines are very, very satisfying. And I really like the messages that they hold once, like, they get to this sort of conflict time, and then the resolution is very, very satisfying.
There it is. The flood.
But what's waiting for us inside?
And the kids gave us a great speech to... Sometimes you need a child's perspective on the matter to get these adults out of their egos and their hubris.
It's over.
We got a leader in here. Oh, we got a group.
We can't leave a single one alive.
Come on, can I get a gathering, please? Can we get a crowd going? Everyone, come in. I love how brutal the fucking just kicking them are. It's so funny. Nice, dude. Every time I just get the timing just wrong. There we go. We managed to get like a level 5 and a level 3 off in one go for 86k of stagger damage. Not bad. Not bad at all.
The League is disbanded. I should get back to Dalamil and see how the others fared.
I do always just love the sort of, oh no, guys, we're in trouble. And then you just have to send in the one-man army, you know, with his companions. Every problem can be solved with a Clive. He's all too willing to help out.
All the Akashic we were able to find have been dealt with. Seems that might be the last of them.
The last of them here, perhaps.
Lubor, Sir Clive has returned.
Clive! What news from Charitena?
It's done. Root and branch.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Thank you, my lord.
Friends, the Horde has been driven back. The Akashic have been defeated. And we need not fear the arrival of any more, thanks to Clive. Victory is ours.
We bloody did it!
We saved Dalamil.
Lubor, allow me to apologize. After all you have done for this town, we should never have doubted you.
But we did. And for that we are truly sorry. We only hope that you can forgive us.
We need you, Lubor. Dalamil needs you. So, if you would still like to be considered for the position of mayor, you have our backing.
You do remember that I'm a bearer, don't you?
We do. But that is not a stain on your character. It is a stain on ours. We thought only of what we perceived bearers to be, not what you truly are. The man who saved Dalamil twice over.
I see. But I will only accept your proposal on 2 conditions.
Name them.
Firstly, that you will both do everything in your power to rally your people to my cause. If the Town Guard and the Merchants League do not accept my leadership, it will be doomed from the start. Unity is the key to defending Dalamil, and I do not doubt that we shall need to call on our combined strength again. When that time comes, I will expect us all to pull together, just as we did today.
Of course. You have our word.
And secondly, you will accept that if I am to lead you, the mistreatment of bearers must end here in Dalamil. Any bearer within our walls shall be afforded the same rights as any other citizen. They will not be judged by what they are, but who they are.
As we failed to do, and came so close to losing everything.
We agree to your conditions. And we have only one in return. That you continue to work for the good of Dalamil, as you always have.
Condition accepted. Well then, it seems my mayorship is all but confirmed. Do I get some sort of special hat? How fickle fate can be. Not so long ago, I had resigned myself to leaving Dalamil in disgrace. And now, I find myself her leader. Here. For everything.
Lubor. About the children.
Fear not. You are, of course, relieved of your responsibility. I would sooner face another horde of Akashic than see them brought up as outlaws. I'll make sure they're safe here.
I don't doubt that you will. And not just the children, but everyone in Dalamil.
I'll do my best. Can't have all your hard work going to waste.
And there's the kids. Nice. That was a satisfying conclusion to that one. I was worried that it was just going to end up being like, hey, take the kids to the hideaway for me. And then it's like, also take me to the hideaway, please, because I'm getting stoned out of here. God damn. I'm glad that that ended nicely. See, people can see bearers as people. Imagine that. The emblem of the Briar's Kiss, pride of Dalamil, the forge is almost as popular with travelling merchants as the trading post's famous healing baths, where the weary can soak away their saddle sores on the way to Drake's Fang. Yes, Drake's Fang, which still exists. And they opened up my mind! I'm assuming that this is going to be our... Okay, no, that's just collecting 6 signboards. I was wondering if that was going to be all side quests completed. It was not. I'm assuming all side quests are completed now, though. It's looking mighty empty. We did it! You know what comes next? Doing hunts. We got hunts that are left over. Alright, back to the hideaway. And with those side quests completed, we will be checking our missives that have surely been sent to follow up. And then we can check our little shelves to see if everything is all in its proper place. And then that just leaves the final hunts. Unless another round of side quests appear. A hideaway welcome. Etta seems fond of the silver bow we gave her, so much so she's been talking to setting it atop her belly as she rests. To hear her tell it, the rascal kicks something fierce when she does too. Sounds like we've another fighter on our hands and none too soon. I can hardly wait to teach our newest little curse breaker everything I know. Though I suppose we can all celebrate first. No need to get ahead of ourselves now. He's already trying to determine the child's future, and he's not even the father. Settle down, Gav. Have you asked Etta what she wants for her child? A new day. I am not so foolish to believe that a single shaming at the hands of town urchins can dispel a lifetime of hatred built up in one's heart. Just as a pot cannot be made clean by reminding it of its grime, it takes effort, persistence, and more often than not, a stiff brush and a bucket of lye. But more than that, it takes time. Fortunately, your courage and leadership has granted us just that. We must now decide whether to embrace it or to waste it. A wise man once said the night is always darkest before dawn. It is a good thing that I count one who burns so bright amongst my friends. And then having a look here, look how full this is now. Oh, there's one more. There's one more. What does that mean? Okay. There's another one. Is that what happens maybe if we do all of the hunts, perhaps? He inherited both his forge and the role of the desert hare from his predecessor, the original Rosena Dalamil, though the mayoralty of Dalamil he won entirely by his own merits. I thought that said majority. Oh, you can't read this. It's let me just disappear. It says mayoralty, right? I was reading that as majority. Such is the acolytes' faith in the Phoenix, they will gladly surrender their lives if it should be done for the benefit of their master. The garland rekindles memories of a more innocent time and speaks of a love that can never fade. Okay. Osman Hippocrates' best-loved writing implement. It is said that the long quills of the stolus become imbued with the wishes it hears over its long lifetime, the words just waiting to pour out onto the page. So should the day come that Clive puts down his sword and picks up the pen, he shall not find his one and only insurmountable enemy in writer's block. And then he writes, there and back again, a bearer's tale. Winter mead. Despite an obvious inability to hold his drink, Gav has insisted that he be allowed to share the bottle when the time comes to crack the seal. We are missing one. But alas, we do not know what exactly it'll be for. There are no side quests that have popped up. I'm trying to think of all the things that it could be. It could be the reputation meter. It could be completing all the hunts. Although at this point they are both linked because we get reputation from said hunts. But we will be doing the hunts next time. So it looks like we'll be able to squeeze in the hunts and potentially make for Origin all at the same time. We'll see how things play out.
How help you today, Clive? Is everything we've received and everything promised?
This is the last one. This is the last one because we've got 2860 and you need 2850. It's unsigned. Every epic starts with a single word. Every symphony a single note. This is but the beginning, and for us shall your legend be told. Forever shall your legacy be sung. A Fallen Enigma and Forbidden Seas orchestral roll. Unsigned. There you go. We're done.
All done?
Yes, actually. Never have to talk to you ever again. Let's have a listen to this orchestral roll while we're here, considering it's a significant one. And then we got a Fallen Enigma. In the several thousand years since the Fallen came crashing down, most of the objects that came crashing down with them have either been hoarded or destroyed. Those few that are not occasionally found when erosion or excavation chances to unearth them, and while their purpose is unknown, they are highly sought after by scholars bent on unlocking their secrets. So that's a sellable item. How much does a Fallen Enigma sell for, though? Let's find out. I haven't sold any of my valuable items in ages because we're walking around with a nice hefty coin purse, but let's have a look.
Still alive, are ya?
Here to say your goodbyes, are ya?
Ta-ra then.
For now, but you'd better come back or I'll fly up there and drag you home by your ear.
Thank you, Karen.
Didn't think you'd find the thought appealing. Look, just don't die, alright? Change in leadership's bad for business. Aye, you're off to kill a god, so what? You've done everything else you put your mind to, haven't you?
You could do this too.
Alright.
If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it.
Yes, we can sell Ragnarok for a measly 3k. Okay, where are we? Fallen Enigma. Only 5,000. Okay. That's alright, I'm not in a desperate need. I'll sell all me goblin coins. Sell me empty shards.
Thankful you got that much.
Sell me ambers.
I reckon I can find a buyer.
Oh, actually,
Got
yeah.
else?
Look at everything I'm holding on to that's valuable.
I reckon I can find a buyer.
I kind of want to hold on to the Fallen Enigma because it might be the only one that we get. Who knows?
Is that all?
I'm just going to hold on to it. Oh, hang on. There's something new with tomes. He's got a little notification on top of him. Oh, this could be the completion. Perhaps.
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge lost.
Isn't it kind of interesting that all of the hunts that we've yet to do don't get added in? There it is. How Hippocrates achieves academic ascendancy. Oh my lord. Okay. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. I'm going to read those next time, okay? We're going to read those in the next episode.
You wish to study the tomes?
Sage for the Ages. The 1,000 tomes is complete.
Did you learn everything you needed?
Nice. All right. We'll do that next time. It is a shame that the hunts, I don't think like all the enemies that you fight get added to the bestiary. It seems like lacking. I think what would be really great is if Tome's bestiary had every single enemy, every single like thing that you fight, and then like a model viewer. Please, dear Lord, I need it. But with that one, we bring this episode to a close. Thank you so much for joining me today. Next time, we'll catch up on that spicy looking lore because there's some good stuff in there. And then we'll take on the hunts. And then, depending on how we go for time, we'll make for Origin. I'll see you then.